for the money. But let's go to Liverpool.
Liverpool. Oh my God, we still got Liverpool to talk about.
We're going to finish at 12, you know.
Hey, we need to wrap it. Yeah.
It's 10 o'clock. We're going to finish at 12.
10 o'clock. It's unreal. Yeah, go ahead, man.
How you feeling?
How you feel?
I think for me personally, I sat down and I had a look at where did we lose the league last season. I thought we may have not been in contention. Why was we not in contention for the league last season? I sat down and I thought to myself, 12 draws in the whole season.
That's it.
That's absolutely preposterous. and then I sit down and I look at the nature of the games. I'm looking at Newcastle away. I'm looking at Burnley at home. I'm looking at, a 0-0 draw at Everton in the Merseyside derby. Sorry, I think it was 2-2 even, or 1-1. But just like poor draws in that sort of manner. So I'm sitting there and I'm thinking, have we addressed that in this window? Have we signed players wherein we'll be able to turn those Ds into Ws? And I look at Naby Keita, and for me, he brings the much needed. He brings bite to the midfield, as does Fabinho. I think we've needed that. I think our midfield has been weak for far too many years. Yeah, and one thing he actually does, he actually drives with the ball in the middle of the park. So
he's a quarterback, bro.
That's what he is. He's a ball carrier. And I think we need that sort of person. I think Shaqiri, for me, the question mark with Shaqiri has been, it didn't work out for him at Bayern, didn't work out for him at Inter. The only reason why he went to Stoke is to engineer a big move. The only reason why he's gotten this big move is because he got relegated. He had a £13 million release clause. If Shaqiri's cost 30 million, we're touching him for barge pole. But now that I've got him, I'm liking him. Now for me, Jurgen Klopp is the type of guy to actually get that talent
100%.
that we all know he has, get out there and make it work. For me, I think, and now I'm going to talk about the elephant in the room. I think obviously the goalkeeping situation. For me, now people say we maybe didn't need to spend £67 million because there are hundreds of keepers better than Karius. But for me, I think we needed a top level.
But do we care?
Get it.
Like, do we care?
No, I would not pass Liverpool for spending that money.
The thing is, it's going to be annoying narratives. I'll give you an example.
Oh no! If he's trash, you will never hear the end from me.
It's not trash. Let's say we lose to Burnley 1-0. Nick Pope plays an absolute blinder.
And Alisson concedes.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be a poor goal.
Just concedes. Period. Yeah,
no, that's nonsense.
So what I'm saying is, for him, the pressure on him is going to be big. And regardless of if he costs £67 million, I'm looking at it's the basic metrics of being a goalkeeper. How does he come out to collect the ball? How does he command his back line? How confident is he in the save? It's those sorts of things I'm looking at. Yeah, he can bring a ball from here to Timbuktu. That's nice. But for me, it's the basic. I just want the basic fundamentals. Save the ball, fam. That's what I want.
That's it. Been too long.
Liverpool will be alright this season.
Now, I think we're a couple of players short of actually winning the league. But I believe we can actually give City a good run for the money. That's my stance on it.
You'll be top 5, I think.
That was a nice round, though. I like that.
There will always be question marks on Lovren, but for me, it's something about and the AM.
Yeah.
And I think Liverpool, if a Liverpool fan was gassing to me, I wouldn't argue.
As I've always said, my issue with Lovren, he's good, but
especially in the big games.
But in the big games he's good, but he's got the potential to do absolute stupidity. A lot of people forget we were 5-0 up against Roma.
That's it.
A man missed the header in the Champions League final on your centre back. We end up winning the tie 7-6 aggregate. All because of that poor header. So for me, stuff is when Lukaku absolutely bullies him at OT.
And the thing as well is that no one is ever gonna forget what he said in the World Cup.
Yeah.
That will come back to haunt him.
And do you know what's gonna happen? He's gonna have a bad game and he's gonna delete his Instagram. Yeah, that's what he does.
Because last year they were threatening him, innit?
That's a bit far, to be fair.
That was mad.
It don't matter how bad a player is, don't make it personal.
The full NF will be on his case the minute he messes about. The Alisson thing for me is a bit interesting because
very interesting.
I'm looking at him more in a negative way only because it's 67 million.
Absolutely, as I said, there are many other goalkeepers.
For me, he's not that good. My opinion. He was understudied to Szczesny at Roma.
Last season was his first season.
Do you know what I'm saying? Last year was his first season. He started as the number 1 goalie. And for me, I'm a bit like, okay.
How was he the number 1 goalie for Brazil when Ederson was starting at Benfica?
Don't understand.
Ederson was on the bench.
Don't understand.
That's a good question.
Because Ederson's been consistent for Benfica for 2-3 years.
I don't understand. When you're the second goalkeeper to Wojciech Szczesny at Roma, bro,
Do you know?
and then
Do you know? I haven't even got an issue with that too tough, yeah. Because I feel like, no offense, I feel like that's a very Arsenal thing to say. Do you know what it is, yeah? Because I've heard a lot of Arsenal fans say that, and I'm like, I'm not really considering that Szczesny thing. It's simply because
It's hard, isn't it?
Szczesny was good. That doesn't mean Alisson's not. It's like for us, we've got Romero. Romero will start in 10 Premier League teams in the league. That doesn't mean De Gea is not good.
I think it's more so it's the Morata argument. Whereas like fair enough, like whether or not you're behind Dybala, that doesn't necessarily show us a true reflection of your ability.
No. What I'm saying is that in Juve they play at least 2 strikers. You can't play 2 goalkeepers.
No, I hear that, but in the one goalkeeper that did play, like you also considered better than Szczesny. That's the way people.
Do you know what it is? Do you know what it is? If I feel like it's one of those things where if you have a good run, why should I drop you? Then that's why I don't think that means that Alisson is bad. I just think Szczesny had a good run. Szczesny was good in Serie A.
Absolutely, yeah.
Szczesny was good in Serie A.
Let's not forget, he's the number 1 at Juventus right now.
He's number 1 at Juve, right? Flip it,
Yeah, let's not forget.
he's playing with Ronaldo.
What
an upgrade!
Because for years, I would say...
He was Arsenal's third choice goalkeeper.
The thing is, for years, I would say Szczesny was good if he had a brain transplant. Because he had the talent. He was an absolute...
He just thought he was Skepta.
Man was smoking in the dressing room after
That's
a
it.
loss to Southampton. Are you mad?
What is he doing? That's what I'm talking about. Like,
The swig of the water bottle.
when I think of a guy who swigs a yak in the goal, and
it.
as well as sipping, as well as freaking smoking in the shower, and then he started ahead of
That's
Alisson,
it.
and then you paid 67. That's the thing. It's the fact that the fee was there at that height. If you said to me, you know, Alisson was about 20 million, okay, yes, because he's Brazil's number 1, that adds value. He played in the World Cup, that adds value.
You know what? I just don't look at valuations anymore. I just don't, bro. Do you know why? Because apparently Harry Maguire would have cost us 35 or 40 prior to the World Cup. Because he finished in the semi-final, 65. So it's like I was telling the man today. Robin was here with a dumb argument at work I had today. I said to a man, I can sell you a Fiat Punto for £1 million. It doesn't mean that it's better than a Benz. It's just the valuation I put on it because you're desperate to buy it.
Yeah.
Do you see what I'm saying?
And if that's the car, let's just say
If that's the only car in the showroom and you have no other way of getting another car, you're not looking at worth, you're looking at what you need.
Yeah.
Do you see what I'm saying? So,
But couldn't Liverpool look elsewhere? I mean,
I look at goalkeepers that they could have taken a gamble as far as they're young, and that's the gamble. But it's like, what's it called? Don't read Sky Sports. They just talk.
I was reading that breaking news.
I read it on my phone. It's done, bruv. It's done. United will never sell Pogba. It's done. It's done. Yerry Mina.
And Gomez.
Yerry Mina, who came in January. Yeah.
Scored that 3 World Cup headers in the World Cup.
He's crap. Anyway,
That's what's
so for me, I don't really look at valuations anymore because they're not like. I love Coutinho, innit? But for me, that was a farce. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. 145 million for Philippe Coutinho, guys. Riyad Mahrez was Player of the Year, won the league, and went for 60. Coutinho. Come on,
The money things are fast, so
It's a
I've
farce.
never really cared
I don't
anymore.
care about
It's just
money
like,
no more.
you needed it, so it's fine. And the argument about Szczesny, that was 2 years ago. Alisson last year, he had a great season for Roma.
one season you pay 67.
As in, for one season, you got.
The money's not really an issue anymore. That's what I'm saying. So it's just like,
Where are we going?
you need the player. Go get it.
Pete, where are we going?
You know what? Because we're going to
We're about to pay 60 million for a 29-year-old centre back.
We're going to have...
It's only an issue if Alisson doesn't perform. That's what it becomes.
That's that. And also just like, when you look at these players, you now just like look at the actual quality of each goalkeeper. So what player, which goalkeeper would you have gone for that, you know, preferably to Alisson? Which one would you?
No, that's the thing. The argument is someone like a Butland could do it.
Somebody better than Karius. That's not a difficult search.
That's too far. I could go to League One. I could go to League One.
Yeah.
Why buy a keeper to just be
better?
It's not
than
about
where you
just
were?
because the fact of the matter is this, right? If Liverpool sign, how much money have they spent this window? Maybe 170.
167.
167. So 167 to finish
Maybe
Where?
probably 7.
But it's not just now. The aim is Liverpool don't need a keeper for 5 years. They're sorted.
10.
That's what you're
He's
saying.
your guy.
Yeah,
That's
you
the
said
plan.
that before
It's
ball's
long-term.
been
That's
the
kicked.
plan.
This
You
is
said
all
that
long-term.
You said that before a ball's been kicked. So say, like you say he has a mare against Burnley and they lose 1-0, even though Liverpool are peppering the goal. What will happen is that guy goes on loan next season or goes on loan in 2 seasons' time, and that 67 will come back to haunt them every single week.
Well, unless you're getting a keeper that's like 30 years old, that's proven. Like, Alisson, he's
My
had
point
one.
is
Okay, he's had
there's-
3 seasons.
For me, it's as simple as this. Alisson has to be elite. For the money we spent, listen, because when we're talking about top keepers in the world, we need to say De Gea, Neuer, Oblak, Alisson. And for me, if that's not how it's read, then we've mucked up, and it's as simple as that.
That's a bit harsh.
No, but
Because you haven't even said Courtois.
Mate, he's broken
I'm
the
like
world.
top of the
No. I'm saying if I'm being semantic. Are you saying that if he's not in the top 4 goalkeepers that you've wasted money? Is that what you're saying?
Not necessarily top 4, but in terms of like pragmatic.
In the
like,
conversation.
I'm just saying,
Sorry.
When we're talking top keepers, Alisson's name has to be there.
I hear that.
If I say raw, Alisson's the best keeper in the world, you can't ask me to leave the podcast because that was too outrageous.
Okay, but that's going to take many years. That's going to take many years for that to happen. Because the Gea 2011. Now we're only saying this after 7 years.
But man were rating De Gea in the second, third season.
Again?
People were rating De Gea in the second, third season. Like, fair enough, in the first season
When he was bought, he was potential. They did make noise about him. 20 million seemed high at the time.
Yeah.
So
But the second season, when City won the league, like, man was rating De Gea.
Yeah, he was getting rated, but I'm saying best in that kind of top 5 level. He wasn't getting that from until like.
I'll keep it up. People
years.
are always saying De Gea best in the world when Neuer got injured. That's when it started.
And when was that? 2 years
Like
ago.
a year ago, 2 years
So
ago.
it's going to take a while. So that prediction really is just like that's like a long.
No, but that's two different things. We're not talking about Alisson being the best in the world. We're saying, is he in the conversation?
Not right.
Because right now there's a couple man.
He's not. We know he's not.
And
But were they available? Were they available?
And that's my problem right there. He's a waste of money in that sense. He's a waste of money.
It's football and timing, isn't
If
it?
he's not in the conversation,
Yeah.
he's a waste of
No,
money.
fact,
Really, how many keepers are there? How many keepers?
But we have to wait and see, though.
Hang on.
That's
Hang
what
on.
we have to wait and
You
see,
said-
bro.
you said- I'm sorry. I don't understand what I'm
No,
saying.
do you know, I think I get what you're saying, but there's a wait and see,
If
and there's
he's
a
not
risk
in
level
the
with certain
conversation- Well, guess
keepers,
what?
and there's a risk level that's a bit.
When you sign De Gea,
We're saying the same thing.
when you're signing De
same
Gea,
thing.
when you're signing De Gea and he's not in the conversation, you pay £20 million. When somebody's not in the conversation and you pay almost 70 million, that record hasn't been broken since Buffon joined Juve. Do you know how old I was then? So you can't just start flagging.
I won't even
goalkeepers
front.
across like
When
that.
Edison came for 30, was it 35, 32?
Yeah.
That was
I was like, that's
eyeballs were out.
Buffon. That's Buffon, you
Eyeballs were
know.
out because it was like, holy smoke, 35 for a goalkeeper.
Yeah.
You must be kidding me.
No, we've seen what he's done. Hello.
Yeah, man, I've doubled it.
And that's the thing. Guess what though? He's not in the conversation.
Who?
Edison. He's still not in the
He
conversation.
had a great season last year.
He had a great season. He had a good season last year.
Good season.
He had a good season last year.
Listen, he done his job.
Let's pipe down.
no, he did.
Man done his job.
No, don't get me wrong. Listen, goalkeepers are not as valued as high as they should be. Correct. But he had a good season last year. He weren't superb, he weren't great, and he was second to Alisson in the World Cup. Right? And they paid £30 million because they were desperate because they paid 30 years.
I'll be honest, yeah. I was a big fan of Edison last year.
I think he did well.
I think
he did
very well.
I couldn't fault him.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
So good, yeah. So not great.
no, he was good.
No, he did.
As in great is a strong
I
word.
paid 30
fair enough.
and I got 30 million worth and I won the league.
Absolutely.
Good purchase. Well done. He's made a bargain.
And that's what they could be them 60.
I don't like.
But for 60.
Exactly. Now
For 67 million.
Now you've landed.
He's there.
Then we're
now
paying. That's what I'm saying.
no.
1 minute we care about the money, next minute we don't. It's just
I care about the people.
No, he does.
I care about
He
the people,
does.
especially
I don't care about
over £40 million. I care about the people.
But why?
No,
It changes so randomly.
For me,
Fine.
money, like,
Leave him.
If
He wants
you're doing the
75
business,
million.
if you're doing the business,
16
money
goals
is
a
not an
season.
issue.
Listen, he wants 75 million for 16 goals in the league every season. Fine.
Come
Have that.
off that.
No, have that.
Come off that.
We found the title of the pod.
have that.
Wait, just
We've been there. If I show you the whole results of where Lukaku was scoring, my point was made. But let's leave that.
He
Next
wants
time.
75 million.
You're fighting a loser
He
battle.
doesn't care about the money for 16 goals a season.
Okay.
That's what Remy wants.
Nah.
And if you want 67
I went for
million,
the important moments. When you
second
score the
fiddle
important goals.
Important moments.
When you score goals that win you
Important
games.
moments.
Anyway,
we don't
it's
do
alright.
that.
Man, talk like there's 6 teams in the league, you know? That's I don't care, bro. There are 14
You know when
teams in the
Lukaku
league.
dummied it?
14
And what was
teams
his
in the
name?
league.
What's it the guy
I
who scored
remember
the goal
you
against
catch
Japan?
that score,
You're the ones.
catch that
It's the important stuff that
Yo, are we
counts.
gonna
The
get-
stats don't show that.
Do you know that there are 38 games in the league?
I don't know.
You know the league starts on Friday.
I don't know.
You know it's not pre-season on Friday.
And he's scoring in that game still.
Adrian, what do I get? What do I get if Alisson's a waste of money this season? Becca, if he's a waste of money this season, what do I get from you?
Huh?
If he's
Alisson
a waste
Becker.
of money this season, what do I get from
That's the
you?
weirdest
What proves
Brazilian name
that
I've
he's
ever
a
heard.
waste?
Huh?
What will prove that he's a waste?
What proves that he's a waste of money? Good question.
No. If there's still a debate about it.
I don't know. If you don't win, no, stop. If you don't win the league,
No, if he doesn't.
Whoa, what's
What's going on? I'm not gonna lie. For 60 million for a goalkeeper, he has to win the league.
what?
What's going on?
Judge him individually.
No,
as
no,
his
no,
score. He
no,
could be
no,
the best
no,
keeper
no,
in the
no,
league.
no,
Hello,
Hey,
Premier
let's
League.
talk Arsenal and end this pod, man. You might take
No. Do you know this? I know what you're saying, Oscar. But if your investments are so peak, because they've gone Everest this year. This is the best Liverpool transfer window I have ever seen. Yeah. If your goalkeeper costs 60 million, yeah, and you've added Keita, you've added Fabinho, yeah, but your goalkeeper, like what we always said, the goalkeeper's on 50 points or whatever. It saves you how many points? Like for 60 M's, bro.
Okay,
And I'm rounding it up.
Yeah, but
I'm rounding it
why
up.
he does that, but they don't win.
I just think it's unfair to judge Alisson based on what the whole team achieved.
I'm with you. I agree with what you're saying. It's just as in he's saying, like, look at the individual.
De Gea has been the best keeper in the league for so long.
And we won the
He won the
league.
league in 5. That don't say nothing about De Gea.
Even then, he only won the Golden Glove last year.
Oh, come on.
It's about the performances each season. It's
The
not
Gea
about
cost £20 million. How many Premier League titles did he give Manchester United?
One.
And end of discussion. £20 million got you the trophy.
But he didn't give us that. That's Van Persie's season. Come on, let's be real.
No, Pete. As in, it's a team contribution for the league. If you said to me 6-7 million and man should not concede a certain amount of goals, or he shouldn't do dumb things, he shouldn't do carriers things for like 5 seasons.
That's first and foremost.
Cool. Like if you said to me, Alisson Becker should not do a carrier season ever in his life.
I'm not having
For
that.
5 seasons, for 6. Because Liverpool.
one season, bro.
I'm not
That's
having
too
that.
short. That's too short term.
He
bro.
wins Golden Glove next season for 67 million.
No, but Golden Glove and win the
That's
Sorry,
yeah,
I've lowered the mark.
I can say.
That's what I'm saying, because you're not Golden Glove. I've lowered the mark.
Golden Glove.
No, you man. I don't think you know what £67 million is.
No, they don't.
Adrian,
They don't.
are you saying
Really?
that for 67 million he should win the league?
Yes.
Well,
He's a goalkeeper.
That's what he's saying.
That's what I'm saying.
I was agreeing
He's
with
not
that.
putting the ball in the net.
Yeah. Golden Glove, we all agree. That's an individual result.
Putting the ball in there. And it's
So hold
not a
on.
one-season investment.
so-
It's a contract.
It's a long term. It's a long term.
Pete,
Why
win
would
the
he sign
league,
a
they can't just
contract?
allow the keeper.
So hang on. Okay, so what is the expectation for signing £67 million over 3, 4, 5, 10 years?
To
What is
beat,
the-
make sure you have a solid back. Solid keeper. Having someone that's not gonna.
more than solid,
you
more than
get.
solid.
So hold on.
No, did you know what's happening?
So you're not naming a trophy here.
It's Pep Guardiola. Because in the normal landscape, you'd say to win the league. The problem here is that we've got a Pep Guardiola Man
But
City.
Adrian, I'm sorry to burst your bubble. With the transfer window you've had, no one cares.
No, guys.
No one cares.
we
The
don't
transfer
break-
window you've
we
had,
don't break
I don't care about
like
Pep.
this.
It's the same standard I put Mourinho to last year. You spent 300 million in 2 seasons. I don't care about Pep. Win the league.
No, but we have to because he's here.
Oh, stop it, man. Stop it, bro.
Win the league.
Stop that, man.
Let's talk about
Hey,
we'll leave that there. Let's go to Arsenal. Let's go to
Go to
Arsenal.
Arsenal and finish this thing.
I say Liverpool will have to challenge. I think for Liverpool's.
Liverpool have to win a trophy this year.
No, yeah.
Yeah, when the FA squad
Liverpool have to win a
challenge
trophy.
for the
Let's see
league.
this.
Challenge for the league.
How many seasons? By how many seasons should they have won the league? If you think they should win,
Realistically, it should be this season.
How many seasons?
I remember Klopp saying he wanted to do it in 4 years. This is his 4th year now.
What's the scope? Tell me, what's the scope?
It's not his fourth season.
What's the scope?
Oh, come on.
What's the scope?
30 games in his first season. This is his 4th.
Remy,
What does he have to win the league this season?
You play. Listen,
My thing is, no, I
you
think,
spent 170 million pounds.
You need to challenge for the league.
Wait, Peter. Obviously, his goal is for him to win the league.
Challenging the league is a garbage statement. I hate that statement. Do you know why?
It's Tottenham.
Because
It's
it's
putting on pressure.
frigging Tottenham Hotspur.
It's not putting on pressure.
It's Tottenham. No, because you have to say to me, look, we're
It is putting on pressure.
We're here to win the league.
That's what it is.
We're here to win the league in X amount of years.
But he's not gonna win it.
How many years?
They're
is
not
that?
going to win it, bro.
How many years?
They're not going to win it.
In how many years?
They're not going to win the league, bro.
No, but that's what I'm saying. He's cooking up something now, no?
No. You're not answering my question yet.
Yes, win the league.
In how many years does he win the league?
That's for him to.
next
That's for him to do. I can't do that.
The next two.
That's for him to do. That's for him to do.
Let's move
So
on.
in 2 years he has to win the league.
has to win
Jurgen
the
Klopp
league.
with that Liverpool side.
With this little
Yeah.
right now, yes.
Right. And if he doesn't, he's wasted the money.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
So sorry, 12 more months to your Alisson season. Fine. I'll sit here and wait in 2020.
I said to a man today that because they were like, who's got more pressure, Mourinho or Klopp? I said both. Because you lot will take you lot.
Quick question.
No, but Mourinho.
If they win the Champions League, is that
Yeah, of course.
That's calm.
Yeah,
of course?
calm.
Is that calm
calm.
or it has to be
Yeah.
league?
No,
That's calm.
No, Champions League counts. Come on.
Champions League counts. of course.
I'm looking at Peter.
It adds the same amount of time onto your contract. They both add a few more years. Unless you're at Chelsea, yeah. Unless you're at Chelsea.
If he wins the Champions League, it buys him a year.